I just met a like digital media producer showing one of my listings in Clifton, and I was sort of explaining how I'm an old school agent, which I think I am. And I don't really do anything on social media. And he said, and especially like those like crazy walkthrough videos where an agent's laying in a pool or those sort of like lifestyle videos. So he had recommended you shouldn't do those if that's not you, and just try to make videos that are your most authentic self. So I'm going to try to start doing that. And one of the things that I first thought about was how I use, so boring backstory of me is that I've been a real estate agent, um, or in real estate going on nearly 25 years. And in that time, my first job in real estate was with a company that was on the forefront of real estate in the digital world. And so they um, put houses on the map on a like a Google map, but it was just a different time, and so you had to use this mobile navigator thing, and everybody had Nokia brick phones, so it wasn't like in your hands. So now it's in your hands, and you can't think about real estate not ever being like that. Um, but I've done, you know, 13 or 14 years at Redfin, and one of the reasons that I have just gravitated towards Redfin, besides our attitudes on customer service and our attitudes on the real estate world in general, is because of the technology that comes with it. And what I think a lot of people miss when they're looking on Redfin or Zillow or homes.com or whatever is the utility of all the information that's available. So I just wanted to share a few things that I do whenever a client sends me a property or when I'm looking at real estate to see, um, if it's worth making an investment in. And so I'm not going to have any displays of this, but who knows? Maybe in the future I'll do that. So number one, the Redfin app makes everything really easy. And again, Zillow may do this, but I know some of the data they have is not present. And some features are sort of hokey, but the big features that I use almost immediately and on every transactional situation is, so I'll pull up the listing on Redfin, and I use the app on one phone, and then I use the full site on another phone, because I have to carry two phones around. And so the first thing I pull up is the map, and there's two features in the Redfin app, pertaining to the map that I think are influential. Number one is certainly just the satellite view, seeing how the lot situates. So, it's not uncommon for a property to not front on a main road, but actually be on a main road. Um, and so that's a consideration. Obviously, not a tremendous exclusionary detail, but uh, that's the first thing I look at. But then the second feature, which is available on both the app and on the website, is flood map information. So Redfin has flood information, and it has flood rating provided by this company, that actually just got acquired by like some huge bank, but or private equity company. But that flood information is so helpful because the biggest issue you can have when you buy a house is whether or not it's susceptible to water damage. Like, your job as a homeowner is often just keeping water out of your house. It's like having a boat. And I will look at that flood map to see if any measurements of water are expected to reach the property. Um, and the way that it scales it, I think, is like within the next 5 years or whatever. But that's a detail that I make sure to call out to my clients right away. And that's the type of thing where, like, the way that I run my business is, fundamentally speaking, I will sell whoever a house wherever they want. But if I had a house that I was interested in that had a water line going right through it, or like flood zone going right through it, I would not buy it. No offense. flood insurance is not astronomical, but it's just like I don't have time in my life for that type of hassle. And so like right now I'm looking at a property to buy for myself, and the steps that I'm taking using the Redfin app are the same steps that I take for my clients. Um, and I just throw this plug out there, which is like I bought all of my investment properties and I invest out of state uh, using the Redfin app, just using the consumer available information. So I'll try to touch on other features that I find helpful, but the map and clicking on the flood location to me is probably the most premier example